So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning from Athens. My name is Eugenia Nicolouzou, and I'm working in ENISA, the EU Cybersecurity Agency, in the Policy Development and Implementation Unit. I have the pleasure to present ENISA, the EU Cybersecurity Agency in the Trusted Economy Forum. We would like to thank the organizers for giving us the honor to present ENISA's role and positions in this new landscape under eIDAS 2, covering both trust services and eID. Just to say that this forum is one of the largest conferences devoted to electronic trust services. I've been working in ENISA the last 6 years, mainly in the area of eIDAS, and I'm coordinating the area of eIDAS the last 2 years. So let me proceed with the agenda of this presentation. So the policy content. So why ENISA is in this area? Why the security of trust services is so important? What is the ENISA vision the next 3 years? And of course, the main amendments under eIDAS 2 with an impact on cybersecurity, as well as the cybersecurity requirements for trust services and the eID part. So just to say that ENISA has been in the front line since 2014 in the area of eIDAS, providing technical capacity and advice to the implementation of eIDAS, particularly in the area of trust services. ENISA is not drafting legislation, but helping the different stakeholders, the member states, the European Commission, the trust service providers, the conformity assessment providers in the eIDAS ecosystems, particularly in articles where no specific implementing acts have been published. So, what are the main legislative texts that gives the capacity to ENISA? First of all, the ENISA mandate, the CSA Act, Article 5, which gives ENISA to support the development and implementation of the Union policies in the field of electronic identities and trust services, particularly by providing advice and technical guidance, as well as facilitating the exchange of information and best practices between the competent authorities. So, moreover, under Article 19 of the eIDAS regulations on the trust services part, ENISA supports the member states with supervision and security measures, supports member states with instant reporting and cross-border notification, and of course supports the incident handling through the CYBERSECURITY tool and the annual reports on trust services incidents. Of course, ENISA envisions to have a role under the eID Cooperation Network and provides CYBERSECURITY tool also under this framework. Also, ENISA has a big role under NIS Directive 2, and we support the interplay between NIS 2 and eIDAS 2 by providing guidance to supervisory bodies and trust service providers for a smooth transition. ENISA supports also the NIS Cooperation Group. Last, the eIDAS 2 package from the eIDAS proposal, which amends the existing regulations, establishing a framework for a European digital identity and making several other changes to the current eIDAS regulations. And from the other part, the Commission recommendation on the toolbox, asking the member states to develop a common union toolbox for a coordinated approach towards a European digital identity framework. So ENISA will support this toolbox process with technical security measures. So let's proceed and say why security of trust services is so important and what is the role of ENISA in this ecosystem. So let's not forget that this is not a breach, a lack of security at the DAS certificate authority with fake Gmail certificates really resulted in eavesdropping of citizens in Iran. This really had a failure in the market, and users had to accept what other certificate is chosen by websites. Impact at the EU level, 1 week of outage of e-government websites in Netherlands, and impact through revocations across the globe. Of course, the breach was a driver for the legislative text to come, like eIDAS and NIS Directive. And of course, certificate authorities and browsers made significant changes to their security practices since 2011. And don't forget, authentication is a pillar of cybersecurity. There are currently many other issues like vulnerabilities, patching, security updates, but authentication and authorizations will eventually become the front line. And it's not only about authenticating the end user, but also protecting the end user against attacks like phishing, like spamming. Moreover, website certificates are the cornerstone of online security. Certification authorities are the first companies that have really taken security aspects into their everyday operations really seriously. And a breach of website certificates can have a major impact. But web certificates are often issued outside the EU and inherently hard to supervise. And other issues that should receive our full attention are the non-qualified certificate, and requires a close collaboration with industry, the CAP Forum, and a close collaboration with national sister teams and other sectors. eID and wallets are digitalization enablers in all sectors. This sector has a special role to play as a front runner. And last, don't forget the digital transformation in the age of COVID. Internet traffic has increased up to 60% shortly after the outbreak. COVID crisis has accelerated the digitization of customer infrastructure by 7 years, based on many reports. Increased data spending on security, also take into account the new trend of teleworking. So remote identification and authentications are on the peak and have a role to play. So let's see which is ENISA vision in the next years to come. So there are three pillars. The first one is support the EU digital identity and digital wallet process. ENISA will support the European Commission of the two-ball process and provide its capacity, and also provide guidance in the eID and wallets part. The second pillar is to integrate eIDAS trust services in NIS2 and implement eIDAS 2. So ENISA will continue to support Article 19 expert group of supervisory bodies, will seek and expand synergies with FESA, the Forum of European Supervisory Authorities, and bridge with the NIS Cooperation Group and leverage the full NIS ecosystem. Moreover, as a third pillar, is to promote industry good practices on trust services and eID. ENISA will build on the success of the ENISA Trust Services Forum, with identify issues, collect and develop good practices for industry. Moreover, we collaborate with industry initiatives, forums, and bodies. So this is a vision and what we have succeeded over the last years. This is an overview of ENISA activities. So the eIDAS regulations came into play in 2014. In 2015, ENISA established the ENISA Article 19 expert group. In 2016, ENISA published the incident reporting tool, the CIRRUS tool. Since 2019, it supports the Commission in the eID part, and since last September, supports the European Commission and the Member States with digital wallets. ENISA has done a lot in the part of trust services and also in the digital identity, and has a leading role in the ENISA Article 19 expert group, in the CIRRUS tool, in the instant reporting area, and of course in the ENISA Trust Services Forum. ENISA will play an advisory role for the Forum of European Supervisory Bodies, for the Commission eIDAS expert group, and the eID cooperation network. An area which really attracted a lot of attention lately is the area of remote identity proofing. And here you can see two reports that ENISA has published the last year. One was the landscape, a full landscape of remote identity proofing, and last year was the attacks and countermeasures. You can find more on the link where we can find on our website on the trust services part. So let's continue now and really see what is the role of ENISA in the amendments under the eIDAS 2. So what are the amendments of eIDAS 2? We have an impact of cybersecurity. So the first one is the European Digital Identity Wallet Framework and the European Toolbox, where ENISA will provide its capacity on the security measures and security analysis. Certifications of European digital identity wallets and of electronic identification schemes can be covered under the CSA Act. eIDAS 2 will call for a harmonized approach to trust, security, and interoperability through standards, where there are many articles foreseen implementing acts. 3 new qualified trust services are introduced, and ENISA can provide guidance and technical recommendations, as it has been done for years. And of course, alignment of the trust service provisions with the rules applicable to NIS2. So this is the main amendments in eIDAS 2 with impact of cybersecurity, and where ENISA can play a vital role in the years to come. So let's now take a short glimpse into the EU digital wallet process. ENISA supports this ambitious, highly demanding and front-runner process. The European Commission has issued the European Digital Identity Architecture and Reference Framework outline in February 2022. So this recommendation sets the framework for member states to work together in close collaboration with the European Commission and other relevant stakeholders in order to develop a common union toolbox. And this toolbox shall contain a comprehensive technical architecture, a reference framework, a set of common standards and technical references. It should cover at least all aspects of the European Digital Identity Wallet and of qualified trust services. So this work is foreseen to be published in October 2022, and ENISA plays a critical role in these working groups, Working Group 2 and Working Group 4, drafting a risk assessment where wallet assets, threats, and security functions are identified. So this framework aims to improve citizens' access to highly trusted and secure electronic identity means and trust services, expand the user's possibilities, and of course improve their ability to control when and with whom their personal identity data is assessed or shared. So under these regulations, the member states would offer citizens and businesses wallets that would be able to link their national digital identity with proof of other personal attributes like a driver license, professional qualifications, bank credentials, and attributes for medical use. These wallets, in line with the proposed regulations, will have to be issued within 12 months of entry into force of the regulation. The European citizens and the European residents will access services online without having to use private identification methods or unnecessarily sharing personal data. With this solution, they will have control of their data they share or grant access to. So in order to continue with one of the last slides, so what is in fact the different cybersecurity requirements for trust services and eID? As you know, trust services are covered by eIDAS and ENISA 2 now, and eID and wallets under eIDAS and eIDAS 2. So there are many different aspects in incident reporting, in supervisions, in assessing risks and taking security measures. But what I would like to concentrate is the things in common. Often and increasingly, a national eID is composed of one or more trust services. Often, cyber attacks targeting trust services are also relevant for eID schemes. And in the future, an attack on the eID scheme will have impact on the TSPs and operators in other sectors like under the NIS directive. So this is issues that should be bear in mind in the years to come, since keywords like wallets, eID schemes, and trust services will have a forefront to play in the years to come. So last, I would like to stress about the ENISA Trust Services Forum, which will take place in October 2022-27. This is the 8th edition, and we're really eager to foster there and host their really vivid discussions. I would like to thank you all for attending these presentations. I was hoping to be in Warsaw, but it was not possible. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you very much.